Hey Danny, how you doing, man?
Hello, Lewis. I
hate to bring this to both your attention and the audience's attention, but you sound ill as fuck.
Yeah, I'm ill. I'm a wee bit in the sick side.
But you're still here, recording a podcast.
But I'm still here, recording a podcast, episode 5. Do you know, Lewis? Do you know how misinformed we are?
How do you mean?
We thought that this was the end of season 4. This is only the first half.
Ah, okay. When's the next half?
2020 sometime.
I thought you were going to say 2026.
2027. No, it's coming out next year, apparently.
Oh, cool.
So, I mean, yeah, that's a testament to our professionalism. We
I mean, I try very hard, but Justin Roiland really must start replying to my tweets.
No.
You know, normally, if one of us coughs or sniffles or something, I edit it out. And, so in the end product, we end up with not very many sniffles. But I feel like this might be a cough-heavy episode.
Yeah.
So, apologies to our listening audience.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm sick, you fuckers, right? I mean, Jesus Christ.
You're fine, don't worry about it.
Oh, God. Right, let's do this, bitches.
Okay. Daniel Kerr, what is your opening statement for Rick and Morty, Season 4, Episode 5?
Almost slipped up there. Okay. What genre is up for a demolition this week? Time travel. Oh, and it's Christmas.
Hey, Christmas! I like Christmas.
Hey!
I love Terminator. They're like some of my favourite films. I think this was an excellent subversion of Terminator and the franchise therein, with some excellent paradox dodging, which the Terminator writers have never done in their life.
Yes.
You watch Terminator, immediately you're thinking, well, what about all the inherent horrendous paradoxes within? And then the Terminator writers, they get a little bit more money in their pocket. Every time you wonder, what about if he hadn't have gone back in time, and then they get a bit more money?
Is that how it works?
In my head it is. Otherwise, why would they have made it so needlessly complex and not explained a thing?
Right. I mean, if you said they get a little bit more money because you watch it again, then I suppose that makes sense. But I don't know if they've got a bank account hooked to your brain, where they just any.
My account's hooked to my brain. Is yours not?
No, I'm in the primitive land. You know, I've still got the cold after maybe 4 days with it, I think. It's closer to Christmas now, from our perspective, than it was when we did Love Actually and Black Christmas, wasn't it?
It is, aye.
Oh,
it's Christmas Eve. We're recording this on Christmas Eve.
Yes. Oh, it's exciting. Ooh.
Who doesn't love Christmas?
Have you got any creepy room questions?
I have many creepy room questions. The first of which is, how many tasks around the house has Rick automated?
Oh. I'd imagine most of them.
Yeah, I'd imagine all of them, to be honest.
Well, apart from getting a beer.
We do see him do that sometimes.
Yeah, and he gets his eye holes and...
Oh, God.
Yeah, eye holes!
They're worth it, Morty, but sometimes you can just come and kick the shit out of you.
And they're delicious. Yeah, I think most of them. I have a query.
Go on, hit me with it. Hi there, it's me, in the edit. At this bit in the recording, a bit of Danny's audio has mysteriously disappeared into the ether, but I do know what question he asked, because I'm editing it the same day we recorded it. He asked me, do I think this series of Rick and Morty is a lesson? It has been a lesson, but I don't think to fans. I think it's been a lesson to, in a way, writers and industry professionals. In that, you see all those wisecrack videos where they're saying how Monty Python influenced modern comedy, and then they talk about Rick and Morty and how it's like this postmodern comedy that's similar to Monty Python and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they're releasing these things to say, right, okay, fantasy is dumb, and here's why. Heists are dumb, and here's why. And that's the thing they keep doing. I reckon it is a lesson, but not to fans, but to writers and to aspiring, script writers, screenplay writers and stuff, to think, oh, okay, heists are dumb, and taking notes.
I meant more the sort of like their own fans, like the fans of their show. Like I got the feeling that it was a sort of telling fans to like calm down, and they've sort of obviously this is only the first half, so we'll see what happens in the second half. But they've sort of stepped away from the sort of serialized aspects of it, because a lot of, that can ruin a show, as we've seen with like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. A lot of people didn't like it, so they've in the premiere they were like, yeah, Rick and Morty are gonna do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Sometimes we'll do nothing. It's just like
yeah.
I got the distinct feeling that no, we're not gonna just engage in fan service. And Evil Morty, no, not Evil Morty, Fascist Morty just sounded like a fucking crazed toxic fan on the internet. It was like, I want to have classic Rick and Morty adventures, and he's just screaming at Rick, you will do what I want you to do. Just like...
Yeah, I see what you mean now, yeah.
Stop doing meta commentary, just have fun. Like, how can a homicidal fascist telling you how to have fun? It's like... It sounds very much like a toxic fan.
Perhaps this half of the series has been like a sort of a catharsis for Dan Harmon, Justin Roiland, both in the... Right, okay, this fascist Morty is all of you very intense fans. And then they said, right, you know what else I'm really angry about? All those heist movies that are really shit. And then they made an episode about that. Maybe the next half will be things they like about the modern entertainment industry? I really have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Maybe so. It's the, I just get the distinct feeling that it's it's them saying that this is our show. It's like, you're along for the ride, and we're gonna do whatever we want.
Which,
I really
in a way, I really like it as well, because it's creative freedom like that. If that makes sense, being able to say, if you say to somebody like as in, this is my show, this is what I'll do, and they say, okay, they accept it, you are free to do what you like.
Definitely.
It's the same as the concept of like a tenured professor. The idea is that because they're not going to get fired for researching something weird, they might make some kind of weird discovery. Do you get what I mean? It might motivate them to just be more sensible, be better at things, etc., etc., etc. So I suppose that's what this is, a sort of a disclaimer about the rest of the series going forwards.
Yeah, it's a trust as well. Like there's a trust between the creators and the fans. It's like, shows recently have had such huge expectations on them, and they were sort of set up to fail, because even if Game of Thrones had the best ending and everything was perfect from season 1 to season 8, there would still be some disappointed people out there going, well, that didn't happen in the books. Just like if you establish with your fan base immediately, it's like, no, there has to be a respect here, otherwise it's not going to work, rather than just fanboys and fangirls just crazed and wanting things that are not possible to get.
Yeah. I have a question.
Go on.
Why are snakes such a big thing in the Rick and Morty universe? Like, all the time there are stories about snakes.
Are there?
Snakes seem to be some kind of recurring theme. Not necessarily stories about snakes, but a recurring theme. From the watch that turns people into snakes. And then this series, I feel like we've had lots of snake stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they were in that tomb, and it was like, waste of snakes. And then this episode is obviously all about snakes. I feel like they have a fascination with snakes. It is kind of funny, but I feel like there's something there.
I thought, because at the end of the episode, when they all sort of disappear, they start like eating their own tail. I thought that was like a sort of metaphor for like time travel.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
The stories end up inevitably just sort of catching up with each other in a sort of paradoxical jingamabob.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that word.
I did, I'm a big fan of Terminator. We did the episode on Terminator. I loved this. I loved how dumb it is, because if you start thinking about the plot of Terminator for more than 3 seconds, you realise why it's such a dumb thing. Okay, we're going to send somebody back in time to kill the leader of the resistance in the future. sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's okay. Let's suppose that time travel is possible and doesn't open any kind of weird paradoxes. Then you start to think, well, why just send one person back?
Yeah.
Why not send like a dozen? If you are a massive computer factory thing, send back like 50 indestructible soldiers.
Yeah.
Just to be on the safe side. Because if that's the only way you're going to win this war, then do it. Do you know what I mean? And then they showed that in this episode of like 100 million snakes teleporting into Hitler's house, Snake Hitler's house, which is ridiculous. And then 100 million snakes turned up outside the Smith's house. And like, when you start to think about it, that's what would happen. Because the Resistance would have to send back more and more people to defend John Connor from Terminators, and so on, and so on, and so on. It's a dumb idea. As much as I love Terminator, it is a dumb idea.
It is a dumb idea. Like, I mean, I love Doctor Who, but there's a lot of dumb shit in that show.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I think that's kind of a redeeming feature, though, you know? Like, I think a lot of British shows, there's, like, bits and bobs where you think, oh, that's a bit rubbish. But it makes it a bit more endearing.
But see, the problem with Doctor Who is that certain tenures of showrunners, they try to take it very seriously. Like Stephen Moffat with his fixed points in time. But apparently time is still rewritten, and like fixed points have been altered before, but then they tried to alter one with the Doctor's death, and then the universe started to break down. I was like, what? But you've done that before, like, many times. How do you know? And
I think that's why...
Oh, I know when I can. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah, I think it's just that Doctor Who is best when it's a bit tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Like, when it is a bit goofy and silly and campy, it's at its best at that point.
Yeah.
Because when the characters are self-aware, it makes it a bit more interesting and funny.
Definitely. It's good to see that... The testicle time agent was back, played by Keegan.
Jordan Peele?
No, it was part of Jordan Peele was in the other one, but it's Keegan Michael Key.
Oh yeah.
So
I was a big fan of how they just solve time things by just punching things.
Yeah, don't fuck with time. Just go back and punch the start of the problem.
God, it was because I mean, did they theoretically like halt snake evolution? Would those snakes now never evolve into hyper intelligent snakes?
I don't know, because well, I mean, it had the opposite effect when they punched the fuck out of Albert Einstein, and for some reason, they mistook him for Rick. They mistook a small German guy for Rick, and he was like, no, I will mess with time. So it's like, how effective are they at their jobs? Because,
you'd think not very.
Yeah, did they go back and say, wait a minute, sorry, maybe we've done this wrong. You can't do that, please. It's like, well, you didn't have to punch me, you could have just told me, and then, no, we're sorry about that. But no, they just fucking punched the fuck out of him and then left. Did they go back? Did he mess with time? We'll never know.
I was a big fan of the Who Else Wants Legs, the gun that Rick used on the snakes, and he shot one and gave it legs. And like, who else wants legs?
Oh God! I mean, I'm really glad that they've avoided time travel in this show.
Yeah,
and the only times they touch it is to condemn it, because it's. Can you imagine writing time travel? It's like, to do it properly, you would go mad, I think.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So I think it's best just to leave it. And that, they've got a good caveat with the interdimensional stuff. And at any point they'll try and, like, you know, when Rick went and got the pizza.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that wasn't time travel, by the way. There was just some pizzas on the counter. It's like, you know, just no, we didn't time travel there. Just in case you were. they're so repulsed by it.
Oh God, it's yeah, it's dumb. But it's interesting that point he raised about, I don't know, snake math. Both, I mean, it's interesting in several points. Both, well, is snake math not essentially the same as human math? But, you know, but also, they've sort of said, well, time travel is possible in this universe, but Rick just deliberately avoids it.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
Does Snake Planet follow our own history?
I presumed so, because they had a snake Abraham Lincoln and a snake Hitler.
Yeah, but they also had Terminator. So maybe
That's true.
Is it Terminator they follow, or is it just, why is it? Because is it a different dimension, or is it the same dimension? Because it feels as if it's the same dimension.
I think it is the same dimension, yeah. But then this raises questions like in the Cars films, with Owen Wilson and
yeah.
Because they have they talk about World War II, which then raises the question of well, if there was a car World War II, then there was a car Hitler, and there was car Holocaust, and then you get into the questions. You think, well, that doesn't make any sense. It'd be best if they just said avoided the car World War II. And you said, no, that didn't happen. That's fine. It had an alternate history sort of thing.
Right.
But I with the Snake World, I really have no idea. Because if they had an Abraham Lincoln, they had to have had a civil war and an emancipation of the slaves. And if they had a Hitler, then...
Who were the undesirables?
Rick did make the point saying that the planet was on the brink of race war. So...
Yeah, but... Well, then, maybe it didn't follow our history then, because, I think things are, things aren't the best in our world at the moment, but I don't think we're on the brink of race war.
No, I don't think we are.
If we are, I'm extremely misinformed. But then again, I didn't know that this was a 2-part series, so who knows? the sound of drums could be sounded at any minute.
I've got a question.
Go on.
Where did Morty's black eye come from?
It was Rick.
Did he punch him in the eye?
Yeah.
Did I miss that part?
Did you not see that at the end?
Oh, was it the after credit sequence? I didn't see that.
Yeah, after the
After
the credit sequence, they're waiting outside for their future selves to go in to the place to sort of fix everything. They've got their snake costume and all that, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, and Morty, next time, stay in the fucking car." And then on his way to punching him, it snapshots, and it looks like a Christmas card, and it says "Merry Christmas." so Rick punches him in the eye.
I love how Rick, his solution to so many problems is generate a costume. It's arts and crafts. Let's make a snake costume. Oh yeah, let's make a dog costume for that episode. It's what?
Yeah, I do like that. That is pretty. Also, it's not really a question, but I like the fact that Morty says there's nothing out here, and Rick says literally everything is out here.
Yeah, that's very true. I appreciated that they put the effort in to dodge the bootstrap paradox.
Yes.
When the future Rick or past Rick, or see, this is why time travel's dumb. But when the other Rick comes and gives the Rick that we follow in the story all those books and sort of says here you go, here's books to figure out how snake time travel works. I appreciated that they showed that Rick actually did figure out time travel, instead of future Rick just saying, okay, here's how snake time travel works. Because then you get into the, well, who actually invented it then? If it wasn't a snake scientist, or Rick, or Morty, or
or who composed Beethoven's Fifth?
Yeah. I do like those episodes. They're good ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that they've mentioned it. It's but wait a minute, how can you talk about avoiding paradoxes when you just paradox? It's almost like breathing to the writers on Doctor Who about paradox. Well, maybe not really. Series 11, I didn't really find any paradoxes, but all before that, Stephen Moffat fucking loved paradoxes.
He did. He had a good couple, didn't he?
He did. There were things that were started by, I'm trying to think, things that had to happen, but the thing that created it was the thing that it happened to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think.
It's very,
it's very confusing. Good old Stephen Moffat, eh?
Yeah, and like in the first season, like Rose and the Doctor can't see each other, otherwise they'll like cancel each other out, and then like those big winged things will show up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then, they met each other like all the time. There was even a mini episode where the Doctor, Amy, and Rory were like hanging out with each other.
Huh? I don't think I saw the mini episode.
Yeah, there was a few mini episodes. But it's just so confusing.
Yeah, it is. It gets complicated very quickly, and unless it's a very simple, almost linear back in time type thing, because as soon as you travel back in time once, it seems that immediately lots of people do it all the time.
Yeah, and do you remember River's storyline?
Oh, River Song. Yeah,
River
that
Song,
was dumb.
What?
We meet each other backwards in each other's timelines.
Yeah,
what?
But like, and right, I'm gonna have to try and think about this. Okay, so the Doctor meets River, right?
Right.
The Doctor doesn't know her.
Okay.
But River knows the Doctor fully, and then River dies, and the next time we see River is in the Weeping Angel episode, but they talk as if they've met before. So like, and then there's this sort of thing that the Doctor sort of knows her less as time goes on. But it's like, well, he didn't really know her to begin with. So the Doctor that we see River meet in the Weeping Angel episode, does he know her like completely and then just sort of begins to forget her, or is it the Doctor knows her as much as we do but is still forgetting it? It's like it doesn't add up. It's
no, I think all those River Song storylines, they needed just one writer to write them all to keep it consistent. Which would be, I guess, difficult with the nature of like TV scripts and stuff, but that's what they needed, really.
Yeah, definitely. But
have you got any more stuff on Rick and Morty?
I do, yes. Has this season been about tearing down Rick?
Perhaps. He has been shown to be sort of vaguely a bit more human in these episodes. Like, that wizard one, especially, where he sort of, essentially his magical powers were superseded by actual wizard magic.
Yes.
So, perhaps it is, to a certain degree.
And there was this sort of hero worship about him for the past 3 seasons, but like I've because, you know, his status has been reduced, and you know there's that episode like the old man in the seat at the very end. It's like I don't get the feeling that he's some sort of god anymore. He's just an incredibly intelligent, lonely, toxic man.
Maybe it has been about humanizing him to a certain degree then.
Yeah.
I suppose that's good though, because now going into season 4 part 2 or whatever the hell it's going to be called, it's going to be more about Rick's relationship with others than it is about what is the nature of being a god. What is the nature of being, like at the start of this episode he says I earned being a god or something crazy like that. It's like, well, I mean, he kind of is and he kind of does, but on the same level he is still very flawed as a person. But then I suppose that's the argument about what does he mean by being a god. Does he mean, say, like one of the Greek gods, like Hephaestus, or like Apollo, or like one of the lower tier ones? How they are flawed people that have incredible abilities and just happen to be immortal? Or does he mean some kind of like a monotheistic god?
I think he's
that is the one and only true power in the universe, like.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for maybe another sort of message to fans, like I think many of them saw him like as their like, sort of Yahweh, who's professed to be this very kind and benevolent, and you know, I don't think that fans thought that Rick was ever benevolent, but they had this sort of weird sort of worship.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Over him. But when you read into, like, you know, holy texts like the Bible and things like that, you realise that Yahweh does some pretty fucked up stuff. You know, like, it's like, well, yeah, maybe he's not all that benevolent, really.
Sure,
it's
sure.
It's just a sort of image that's presented by the people that admire him so much, and maybe it's about sort of, no, he's not a god. He is a human being who is incredibly flawed, just like the rest of us, and we should never treat anyone human like a god.
That's that thing. To err is human, to forgive is divine. Perhaps that's the point they're making. Is all the mistakes that Rick has made in his life, it makes him human, and the fact that he doesn't want to forgive himself and he can't forgive people. Maybe that's what makes him not divine.
Yes.
Good stuff. That got very philosophical quite quickly, didn't it?
Very, didn't it? Yeah, but
I'm a fan of that.
But I mean, I thought it was the last. I thought it was the last episode, but just fucking thankful it isn't.
As did I. I got to the end of it and I was like, well, I mean, is that it? Is that the season finale? Really?
Yeah.
It's like with The Good Place. They released an episode the 20-something of December this year, and I was thinking, oh, okay. Oh, November it might have been. I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is the end of the series then. And then at the end of the episode, they suddenly revealed, okay, no, there's more in January. I was like, well, I mean, yeah, because this episode was not a finale episode in any way.
Yeah.
But come on now, at least tell people.
Yeah. I mean, because there's so much speculation on Rick and Morty, it's hard to know what's real.
Sure.
I'm sure I read some crazy shit like Evil Morty is in the first episode, like stuff like that. In your heart, you're like, wait a minute, that can't be fucking true. There's no way that they would ever do that. And just people just spew out bullshit about this show, and you know, just speculate on it, and it's like you're not helping, because I didn't even know that there was another part to the season. We could have just ended this. It's like, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you in a year and a half. And then Rick and Morty's like, oh fuck, hi everyone, we're back. You know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if anyone's listening, it's raining outside. That's that lovely noise. I don't think it's possible that you can edit that out, Lewis.
No, it isn't. It isn't possible that I could edit that out. Like the Love Actually one, there's some hissing in that one that I don't think I'm going to be able to get out. But no, I can't. I definitely can't get rain out.
Yeah. Do you know what that is, Lewis?
What is it?
What that is? We're solidifying the dynamic between our fan base. all 10 of them. We're saying, look, you accept our flaws for what they are, and you just enjoy the ride. I mean, we're not going to become better people for you.
Jesus.
Fuck being professional.
Well, Danny, have you got a closing statement?
I do, yes. Thank fuck there's another part to the season.
Very eloquent. Well
yeah.
put. I said, very good in its complexities. Finally know what that bit from the title sequence is, where that tiny man beats up the snakes. We finally know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's the only one.
He's like, I'm here to protect you, and then he gets killed.
Yeah, immediately killed by Beth. But yeah, this is good stuff. I can't wait for the rest of the series, the next series after that, all the 65 remaining episodes of Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much for listening to our podcast, this one, and also Shouting Into the Void. Thank you for tuning in this year.
Yes,
this is going to be our final podcast of 2019.
Oh my god, it's been such a journey already, Lewis. I can't believe we've actually done as many as we've done.
Yeah,
so
in total
far.
it's 20, 21, that many-ish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you so much for everyone who's been listening.
Yeah, definitely.
To everyone who's kept coming back. It's very gratifying, I have to say.
Thank you for helping us grow, and let's grow more in 2020.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Where can people find you, Lewis?
People can find me on Instagram at Lewis_Brindley, on Twitter at LewisBrindley4, and on Facebook, Lewis Brindley is the Facebook page. It's at lewis.brindley.official.
Amazing.
Where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Ohiram. They can find me on Facebook at Daniel Kerr. See, I can't remember the full sort of URL for it. And they can also find me on Twitter at Kerzo2000.
Very nice.
We're also on Podomatic, Spotify,
Yep.
Apple Podcasts,
Yep.
and we have our very own YouTube channel.
We do. It is a bit of an archive. I'm slowly getting things uploaded onto there. It takes way longer than you would ever begin to think it does.
Yep. It's like 2 years per episode. Oh shit, we forgot some shelling. Patreon.
Yes, we have a Patreon. We do other stuff as well. Go and check us out on Patreon.
Yeah.
You can sign up for as little as $1 a month, which is, I don't know, like 70p.
Yeah,
anyway,
let's not disclose our financial gains. Yeah.
But yes, thank you very much for listening in 2019.
Thank you.
We can't wait to do more in 2020. We really enjoy this, and it's really great. Thank you very much for listening. You, every single one of you helps us to keep doing this that we really love doing.
Mwah! Big kiss for you there.